2023 is coming to an end, and for me that means that another year of living out of my backpack is almost over. And I wanted to take the opportunity to just show you a few of my things I did not travel without this year. 5 are new additions, 5 are like trusted old favorites of mine. And if you have any travel gadgets that you loved this year, then let me know in the comments. I always love to hear it. So let's jump right in. So first I want to talk about the new additions, and one of my favorite new things I purchased this year is this Bellroy light sling. As some of you may know from one of my other videos, I have been looking for a kind of smaller bag, personal item bag for a long time to basically just keep my valuables and my iPad and all those things on me when I travel. And I really enjoy this sling because it has a little bit of organization, but moreover it's very lightweight. You could even fold it up very small if not in use, and it wears very well together with my backpack. My only downside is that I'm not a big fan of magnetic clasps like this on bags where I carry all my valuables. But every time I travel to countries where I have to be a little bit more aware, I just tape this shut with some black gaffer tape, and so far I had no problems. And full disclosure here, the next 3 items I got as free samples to test from the companies, but I am very picky on what I accept and no one forced me to put this into my favorite list. But surprisingly, I really enjoyed using these 3 next items, and that's why they're on this list. My next favorite thing I carry inside my Bellroy sling, and it is this little organizer from Side by Side. And I really enjoyed using it because it is so slim. And it's very simple. In the front you just have 2 zippered compartments. In the back I usually keep our passports. In the front I put my wallet, and it's also RFID protected, so I don't feel too bad to keep my valuables in there. And here in the back it has like 2 slide-in pockets that are a little bit protected with this flap that goes over it. And in there I just keep some pills, the cleaning cloths for my glasses, those kind of things. And I always just keep this inside my Bellroy sling as a little organizer, and it's been a perfect combination for me. So the next item I got sent from a company called BGY Tech, and I'm glad they did because I would have probably never found this without that. And I really fell in love with it because for me this is the perfect size for a tech pouch. I always have the problem that tech pouches are too big. I don't have enough things to really fill it up, but this mini tech pouch really works extremely well for me. And there's a little bit of organization inside. Yeah. There's a little bit of organization inside. I usually just keep a pencil and a little notebook in the back, my power bank, and a little cubie that I use to back up my photos automatically when traveling. I also have like an SSD drive in here. And it has a few elastic loops here where I usually keep adapters. There is another zippered pocket here in the back. So for me, this size works very well just to transport my chargers for my phone and all those things. And the next item I want to talk about is actually in here as well. It is this little travel charger from ESR. And ESR sent me this little charger, and since then it's been living on my nightstand anywhere I go. I really enjoy it because it's foldable, so I can unfold it like this. Here in the back I just plug in a regular USB-C cable, and then I can magnetically attach my phone to charge here in the front like this or like this. Here in the slot in the back I can charge my AirPod Pros, and here is another little attachment to charge the Apple Watch, which honestly I don't know where I put it in the moment. I remember a few days I put it in some pocket thinking if I run out of battery on the way, I will use it there because you can just plug it into any USB-C power bank or anything. And now I'm not sure where I put it anymore. So that's why I have to be minimalist, because otherwise I always lose my things. So the next piece of gear I purchased this year is this small foldable brush. It's from Wet Brush, the Pop and Go, and I really enjoy it because it just pops into a hairbrush. I used the larger version a few years ago, and finally the smaller one was available in Europe, so I got one and I really am happy with my purchase. So now let's move on to the things that are my favorites since a long time already, and the first one is definitely my pair of scissors. I travel with scissors because they are just so comfortable and useful to have in so many situations. And yes, I travel with them carry-on only because I can get them through TSA, because Let's see how I do this. The blade length is shorter than 6 centimeters and there is a rounded tip. So I traveled to 3 continents this year with this in my carry-on luggage and nowhere had a problem with DSA. And also my husband has a pair, but he has the foldable version, which is even smaller, and he also never ran into any problems. Another one of my favorites you see in all my pack with me videos is still the Peak Design packing cubes. I have the small version and they're usually my allowance for clothes everywhere I go. And they just work so well for me, for my style of packing. And I already did a video where I show how I pack them KonMari style. I will link it in the description below. And even though I use them daily for 3 years now, because I literally live out of my backpack all the time, they still look like new. There is no wear and tear, there is no yarn sticking out, no nothing. So I'm very happy with that purchase. So even though they were a little bit more on the pricier side, and I would not recommend them for someone who travels once a year, for me personally, they have been a great purchase. Another thing that I travel with since a few years now and I'm extremely happy about is this little Matador soap case. And after a few years, it still, I mean, you can see a little bit of dirt here and there, but it still works perfectly. And inside I still have my winning system, like some people called it in the comments. I always bring inside a little suction cup with a hook that can tilt. I buy a big pack of them at the local dollar store, so they're very cheap. And then inside the pouch, I keep my solid toiletries inside these little soap saver bags. And this time I even have 2 in there because the bars are not so big anymore. And also if you go on a shorter trip, you can always just cut your toiletries in half and save yourself some space this way. And these 2 bags I usually keep hanging in the shower with the little suction cup, and then the soap always gets dry and doesn't get all mushy. And when I need to pack up again, I can just throw everything inside this little pouch. Doesn't matter if they're wet or dry. And I just put it into my bag and it does not make a mess. So I'm very, very happy still with this purchase. The next item on my list is starting to look a little bit used because all the print is coming off already, but it's slowly coming to an end and I will definitely purchase this thing again. And this is the Hawaiian Tropic Mineral Sunscreen Powder. I am not a big fan of shiny faces from sunscreen, so I always use this. I always have it with me. And it's just so useful because it has this integrated brush and you can just apply sunscreen on the face. I also sometimes use it on the arms. It does not count as a liquid because it's powder and it's small, so I can take it anywhere with me. And I have been really using this since a long time now. It seems like it works because I rarely get sunburns anymore and it really deserves a place on this list. And my all-time favorite thing that I feel like I talk way too much about is still my Tiny 2 flashlight. It travels with me everywhere since years. It works like a charm. I can charge it with USB-C, and then on the lowest setting, which is 1 lumen, which is kind of like 1 candle in the room, I use it every night because when I just want to have a background light when reading, when my husband is already asleep, or I want to go to the restroom at night without disturbing him, I really use it all the time and it lasts forever. It also gets a lot brighter, so it's also suitable for walks in the dark. And I feel like all the time I find new uses for this thing. For example, now that we're back home in Austria in the winter and we have like darkness for 15 hours a day, I use it when I have to walk outside in the dark, just as a little light for security, so the cars can see me on the road. Or I also found it very useful this year to just hang it on my airplane seat and turn on the lowest setting and just illuminate the floor of my airline seat when I need to get something out of my bag. So I really believe it's very useful to always have a flashlight with you. And one thing I wanted to mention, because people regularly ask me that, if I'm still happy with my backpack. I'm currently traveling with the Osprey Arcane duffel bag. It's 30 liter. It converts from a backpack to a duffel bag and is a very simple bag, a very lightweight bag, but I'm still extremely happy with it. For me, it's still the perfect travel bag, even though maybe I would love to have a bottle holder. That being said, my plan is to test a few new travel bags during the next few weeks while I'm at home. I got many emails from companies asking if I want to test their bag, but honestly I was a little bit hesitant because I don't want to be the bag review lady. I think that's a little bit boring. But then I thought maybe I can turn it into a nice series where I actually travel with them, live out of them, give some kind of female perspective on things, and that's the plan. So we're getting a few exciting options. The mailman is already bringing big boxes almost every day. So if you don't want to miss any of those episodes, or if you just want to make this little girl a little bit happy, then just subscribe to my channel. And other than that, thanks for watching, and I see you in the next video. Bye!